Hello. Watashi wa Daddy desu. I've been working out for a bit over 4 years now, and I've always somewhat had some insecurities around my body, and I just didn't really do much about it. I always ate like shit. I never really worked out, and it felt like to some degree I just kind of ran out of control, and that kind of spiraled into a lot of other things. And let's just say middle school was not fun for me. The chips were kind of stacked against me from the start. God set me down in a bubble made of like hopes and dreams, and I came down with horrible, horrible lung disease. I almost died and brought my mom down with me. So when I finally did get to escape from that bubble, my mom's uterus, I wasn't doing too hot. Constantly had a fever, and I had horrible acid reflux. So whatever I ate, I would just throw it up immediately. So whatever food my mom would find that I would actually eat, I would just scarf down exclusively, basically. So I've had my fair share of Vienna sausage and Jollibee Young Burgers. Which, by the way, it's so weird, it's so odd, it's so peculiar. It's the fact that Jollibee Young Burgers, they're like $5 a pop, when it's just a patty, cheese, some sauce, and bread. Like, what's the deal with that, Jollibee, huh? I bought a Chicken Joy the other day, and it was just like Chicken Joy, rice, gravy, and a Yum Burger. You know how much that shit cost me? $25. Like, how dare you do this to me? I love you, Jollibee, but I don't want to take out a loan whenever I want to eat at your establishment. It sucks. But I started being more active around COVID. Me and my sister would just take some jogs around the neighborhood, and then when it started clearing up, I would go to the neighborhood gym, and then my sister got a gym membership at a nearby gym, so I was like, may as well hop on that. I'm really curious how many times I'm gonna say gym during this video. Am I gonna count it? We'll see if I count it. But when I started weightlifting, I had legitimately no idea what I was doing. I kind of just knew that if I picked up this weight and I moved it around like this, that would do something. Over time, though, I really learned more about muscle groups. I learned more terminology. I learned a bunch of forms. I learned a bunch of terms. I learned a bunch of other stuff. So I thought it would be cool if I brought y'all along with me during a week at the gym while I talked about certain gym topics. If I was talking to somebody who was on the fence about going to the gym, I would say that the main societal perception of what the gym is doesn't apply to everyone. If no matter how much you try to get yourself on a bench and you just cannot do it, that's totally fine. Jumping on a trampoline is just as effective. Going on a 2-minute walk is just as effective. Going up and down a step for 2 minutes is also just as effective. Doing whatever this is,
that's fucking cool.
Any sort of progress investing in your physical health is extremely important. And it's fine that an industrial gym doesn't fit you. There are a lot of people who don't even have the capabilities of going to a gym like that, or even getting out of bed. Anything that seems more fun or just seems healthier for your body, whatever fits your lifestyle and whatever fits your needs, is perfect and beautiful, and it's amazing. At the bare minimum, just get the ball rolling. For some people, they'll just start running a mile every day. Like, that's their bare minimum, like that's their entry level, which is crazy to me because I hate cardio. But they'll just commit themselves to running a mile every day. But sometimes, maybe for other people, it would just be practicing getting out of the couch for 2 minutes. And you never know, that initial movement can really snowball into a lot of bigger goals and accomplishments. If you practice getting off your couch for 3 minutes, that can enable you to reach something off the top shelf. In a couple weeks, maybe that'll lead to you doing a small millimeter jump. A couple weeks after that, that could lead to you building up your endurance, and maybe you can do a little sprint for 30 seconds. A couple weeks after that, that could be a whole minute. A couple weeks after that, that could be 5 minutes. And then a couple months afterwards, you'll be jumping to Mars in one bound. Eat your heart out, Elon Musk. Whatever you choose is more than enough, but you'll look back at the progress that you make and be amazed and astounded that you were having trouble getting off the couch to begin with. But if you do want to go to an industrial gym where there's traditional weightlifting and stuff like that. Hopefully this next section will help. So when I work out, I like to focus on hitting specific heads of the muscles. So on triceps, I hit the long head, the medial head, and the lateral head. I usually warm up by doing some cardio of some sort to get the blood pumping, and then I do a warm-up exercise. But here on my leg day, I actually kind of like going straight to it. I just do some couple minutes on the cardio, and then I go straight onto the hack squat machine, or I just go straight to the barbell and I start squatting. I usually like to start off with no weights to get a feel for my form, and then I start adding weights on deliberately over time. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know every name of every exercise and I'm like able to recite all of that information perfectly. I kind of just have a feeling of the kind of exercises that I want to do, and I just do them. But when I do work out, I like to go for the 3 to 2 set range, but that kind of purely depends on the time that I have left. So if I know that I need to wrap up soon, I like to go for the 2 sets with heavier weights. Overall though, I don't really like counting when I do sets. I feel like when I count, it gets into my head too much and I start to lose my form. So I like to just keep on going until my body tells me to stop, or until I go purely till failure. At first, it's kind of a warm up with much lighter weights just to get a feel for my form. Then I step it up higher to start building that muscle up, and then that last set is to really just demolish the muscle for the day and really make sure that I have it down. When I do my movements, I like to think about it in terms of my reps and in terms of my weight. A decent balance of these two is what's going to get you the most bang for your buck, as long as you challenge yourself, obviously. But depending on what you prioritize, you can get different results. So if you get more reps, that can build up more muscle endurance, but if you go for heavier weights, that means you build up more muscle mass, meaning you get stronger in the movement. My approach to the gym is a bit of scientific method and the fuck it we ball method that I've developed. Basically, I like to absorb my information scientifically. I like to approach my forms with accurate information, and a lot of it influences what I do. But when I actually get into the gym and what I believe in for myself, it's all up to feel, baby. It's all up to the vibes. Am I vibing like changing my grip every set? Yeah, I am gonna do that. You know, I can study as many scientific terms, I can understand as many scientific processes as I want, but when my body starts denying them, or like I just don't feel like putting in that kind of effort, I give myself that leeway. If there is one thing that I would like you to take away from this video, it's just like, go out there, get started, and experiment. Go out there and experiment with what works best for your body, because my body is completely different from yours. You know, my little brown boy stature doesn't really match up with your white, tall, monolith body. Patrick. Now, my diet is very on and off. Sometimes I'm counting calories and cooking meals daily. Sometimes, a lot of the times, I'm eating the nearest thing resembling food, no matter how many calories or protein it has, and just swallowing it whole. As of writing this, I finally bought groceries for the first time this year, and frankly, whenever I do, I feel so much more productive. I feel so much more control of my life. I feel like I'm eating healthier because I am eating healthier. I'm eating more balanced meals. Yeah, this week I finally bought some stuff for some salad. I have this, my favorite thing to buy whenever I'm trying to eat healthier is just some ambrosia apples, red grapes, and cottage cheese. That always hits. And it feels great to just sit in the kitchen for a while and just cook something. Like, it's a really rewarding feeling. But you know, sometimes the money is low and motivation's low, so you know, like, raising canes 3 times a week sounds pretty good. For me, my diet is very up and down, but it's never love and hate. That was stupid. I never really talk myself down whenever I'm not on top of my diet. My body itself tells me that it needs better, so whenever I have the fuel and the energy and motivation to do so, I fulfill that need. And I understand that, like, a lot of the times people really don't have control with the food around them, or sometimes, you know, their body hates certain foods, but I can't really talk about that because I can eat whatever I want. Fuck you, lactose intolerant people. But whenever I do get into the phase of eating Raising Cane's 3 times a week, I don't feel good physically. And I don't feel good because I eat like shit and I have no self-control. It's just because I'm not in control of the outside factors that lead to me eating Raising Cane's 3 times a week. And does it sound like I'm making up excuses for myself? Hell yeah, because I am. Hopefully that was good. I just like eating what I want to eat. I engage with my diet and my food in a way that feels good and rewarding to me. I'll give a quick breakdown of what each macro actually does to the body. Protein helps rebuild muscles. Carbs is the primary source of energy for your body. Fats help maintain energy levels. And fibers allow us to digest the food and make big old poops. Like this big. You need to balance out all of them. If you just purely cut out all sugar or carbs, or cut out fat completely, that's going to do more harm than good. And you know what? Maybe it does help for you. You know, maybe you could be like Doug and like drink olive oil daily and still be built as fuck. That's tight as hell. If you have an allergy to gluten, like, hell yeah, please avoid that. And I salute you for trying to find any good alternatives, because goddamn, you're not finding anything that good. The information that I gave works best for me, and I believe applies to more people. So go ahead out there and prove me wrong. I didn't finish this last part of the script, so I'm gonna cut right here. I forgot the transition. Also, did I or did I not record this entire section, but then realize that I forgot to remove the filters off of my microphone for my April Fool video? Yes. Does it matter? Yeah.
One more. Where my hook at? Keep pushing, keep pushing. Where my hook at? One more. Where my hook at?
As you could tell, I was recording at the gym. And on this day, somebody asked me while I was there and recording, they were asking me like, what's your goal with the gym? And I said, just to enjoy the process. I just kind of enjoy lifting, you know? For some people, it's a health thing, you know? Sometimes they have to go to the gym for physical health reasons. Sometimes it's because they want to achieve a certain physique. Sometimes people think that if they don't hit a specific benchmark in their gym life, they're not Sigma enough, right? If I'm not able to bench 315 by the end of this week, I'm not gonna be able to escape the matrix. And if you believe that, you're really weird.
You're a weird little guy.
I think overall though, social media does a pretty bad job at motivating people to go to the gym. Of course, the concept of having unrealistic body expectations being shown on you and on social media doesn't really help. It really does at times bring down someone's mentality going to the gym, but I feel like that could also be a thing that is kind of just common in everyday life without a phone, even though social media definitely makes that scenario happen more often. I think the worst part about gym content can be when people try to villainize a food, or they try to sell like a shitty online course, or in general, people try to make money off of people's want to appeal to the rest of society by going to the gym. You know, a lot of it comes down to shitty people taking money from good people, and it's really rough. You know, this is partially why I have such a lackadaisical relationship with food, because I've just spent a lot of time watching videos of people villainizing, I don't know, like stevia, or like gay. People really like to villainize like aspartame or cane. People really like to pretend like if cane sugar was 2 rooms away from you and you stood in that room for 5 minutes, you would die within the hour. And there's this whole other like weird thing. I saw this one video about people who were paranoid about the materials that their cutting boards were made out of, which is so weird. And it's like, you know, like if I'm to be paranoid by plastic cutting boards and I'm not able to get my cute little cut up fruits and cottage cheese, I'd rather cut my dick off using that plastic board than not get my goddamn snackies. There also seems to be this mentality with certain gym content that for you to be an acceptable human being, you have to go to the gym. Or it's this idea that if you're not suffering at the gym, that you're not really getting the best burn or whatever. I don't know. I feel like if I look up gym content, you will find videos of people talking about the saddest shit and using that as fuel to go to the gym. It's like, why do you need to make yourself sad to go to the gym? Why don't you just have to, like, you can just like going to the gym, bro. I know that if I had to be sad and use that anger or sadness to go to the gym, I wouldn't really be going to the gym. I think I'd just be eating ice cream alone in a room. And if that room was 2 rooms away from cane sugar, I would die within the hour. I do think, though, I like using social media to look up food advice or look up new techniques. But I think overall, a lot of gym content can be very unhealthy. I've actually collected a number of TikToks that I think would be interesting to watch. So this first one just says, how's life? And then it says, one day it feels like I'm healing. Next day I'm breaking again. It's like a cycle that has no end. Why the fuck would you use this as gym motivation? I feel like in general, this idea of needing motivation to go to the gym is a bit ass backwards. I feel like people kind of forget that sometimes going to the gym is a hobby.
Huh?
Next one.
I wasn't strong enough to save you, Mom, but I promise I won't fail again.
I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it.
Sure, dude. Yeah. It makes me, it's to say like, sorry mom, I couldn't save you, and then show a video of you pumping iron is a bit insane. And I'm gonna be real, the guys who post this shit have way better physiques than me. They eat way better, they're way more consistent, they lift heavier than me, 100,000,000%. I am punching up from here, bro. It's just kind of, it's interesting to think that this is the way that they choose to interact with their health. They use such sad moments.
Sup, kid? Mind if we talk? Heard you've been thinking about working out and you don't know where to start. Let's talk about it. I've got like 8 things. Is that cool? Cool. Number 1, you have to know why you want to start. This journey requires a lot of hard work. Remembering why you started will keep you from wanting to quit. And if none of your friends support you...
Yeah, just, this is an example of a TikToker that I do like. It's very straightforward. It's just like, find what you like, do it. Doesn't have to be powerlifting. Doesn't have to be specifically this form of gym. Make it what you want. Do what you want to be. Be consistent. Push yourself. If someone is trying to reach for a goal in particular, that's great. That's beautiful. If you have an idea of what you want your physique to look like, that's amazing. Go ahead and push for it. That's really cool. Don't make yourself sad. Don't belittle yourself because you don't have like washboard 6-pack abs, 13 diameter biceps, because that frankly, I don't think it really fosters a relationship of self-love. I think it fosters a relationship of self-loathing that will not feel good in the end, even if you do attain what you want your main physique to be. And I think people like Scotty K and Joey Swole are examples of great people who just want to go to the gym and meet people who just are cool to talk to and have fun at the gym.
You good, bro? Trust. Oh.
Draw
Rob said? Bro, you good? Trust, please, bro. That's crazy. Niggas saying sorry for walking through the camera. Hey, if you get mad at people for walking through your camera, bro, you need to go buy your own gym or some shit, man. I always tell people, bro, it ain't my gym. That's like my exact words. Anytime somebody walk through the camera, it ain't my gym. How am I gonna get mad at you for walking in the place that you pay for?
A great TikTok I think is really nice. When I was recording in the gym, I tried my best to talk to everybody who could have been in frame and be like, hey, just so you know, I am recording. If y'all aren't comfortable with that, let me know. And most of the time people let me record them, which is very nice. I'm still going to be trying to censor some faces and try to blur out the background in the event that, like, you know, I didn't tell them that they were going to be in a YouTube video. So I'll try to do that to the best of my ability. But I think, I'm surprised I didn't talk about this at all. A lot of the gym is ego. People who believe that, like, they go to the gym and just think that they're the main character because they're at the gym. They're very interesting folk that I don't want to talk to.
Yo. MF Doom.
Alright, so being that this last section of the video was about TikToks, I thought it would be fitting if I did it in my car. There's a little spider in my car. Ugly goo! Hi. This part right here is very unscripted, so please don't expect anything riveting in this last part of the video. So what do I want you to take away from this video? Focusing on my fitness to any degree has been the best thing to happen to me. It has given me structure when I don't have any. It has given me motivation to do things in life when I have very low motivation. It's made me physically feel better, obviously. And just the long-term benefits of being active and having muscle later into life is really great to read about. I think that if you're somebody that's on the fence about the gym, I would love to help. I would love to be motivation. I would love to provide to you what I know. If you're somebody that's already gone to the gym for the past like 50 years, rock on, keep it up. Send pics. Don't send me pics. If you're one of those guys who takes a lot of pride in going to the gym to the point where you feel the need to put others down for not doing so or not doing it as well as you do, get a fucking life, bro. If you would like for me to keep on making gym stuff, let me know. I think now with this cute little dandy microphone that I have and other stuff, I feel like if I were to post more consistent gym content, that would be a lot of fun. I started this video because I just wanted to have a video to make. I love making videos. I love writing videos. I don't love writing videos, actually. I love making videos. I love editing. I love filming. I'm really bad at script writing, and I'm really bad at being consistent at loving video editing. But the one constant these past couple months into me making this video, and overall in my life, has been my physical journey, my fitness. And even though I very much have ups and downs, lefts and rights, chutes and ladders with my fitness journey, I think that it's had nothing but positive effects in my life, not only including my physical self, but in terms of the people that I've met and the people that I've gotten to talk to, whether it be friends that I think I'll be able to talk to for the rest of my life, friends who were good in the moment, or friends who were great for the minute that I got to talk to them. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm finally done with this video, holy shit. Goodbye!